All right, the live streams are running. Let me put the links in the chat. And let me share my screen. Let's see, did I get it right? Yes, excellent. All right, the live streams are running. If you're using the Zoom screen share, you should see our title screen. Because we have a small group tonight, I did not randomize the photos. We're going to start off with a group from Melinda. And the title of the first image is right in front of me. Bus to Hyperspace is the title. Take it away,
Yes.
Melinda.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, so we've done like action and nighttime, and I don't know if we ever did a like a light trail special or anything like that, but I fooled around with trying to get interesting sculptural forms from vehicle lights in the past, and so that's all been real interesting to experiment with. It took several tries for me to sort of figure out like what works and what doesn't and stuff. And so I went out the other night for this special and shot sort of my favorite stretch of highway where I can get close to the road. Um, and um, and when I took this photo of the bus, I knew it was the my favorite because it really filled the whole frame with a lot of lights. I also realized that like shooting at the a vehicle approaching or going purely to the side is not ideal. That you kind of want to shoot as as closely to the back of the vehicle as you can to get these nice streaks. So it was all just a matter of trial and error. But I was very happy when I got this one. It was pretty. There was one bus that came by. I took a photo from this vantage. I liked it, um, and then I was kind of waiting for another bus. And when the second bus came along, I was ready and grabbed this one.
Very nice 3D.
Oh, thank
Very
you. It's kind of nice that there's a little bit of light left in the sky too. Um, probably probably better than if it were completely night.
This was taken with the Beam Pro.
Yes. Hmm. And I
The shutter.
probably, sorry, shutter speed you're
Yes, you
talking
can
about?
modify it with the.
No.
Ah,
So it just recognizes that the field is very dark and probably chose sort of the slowest shutter speed that it felt was safe, which is, I don't know, probably a 60th of a second, maybe maybe a 30th at best. Um, but it wasn't completely handheld. I had it propped on something. Was holding it pretty still. Um, yeah, my first bus picture was completely handheld, and it was kind of interesting. All the lines go wavy, but wavy in the same kind of way. Um, but I liked this one better. I also like the street light. It's got they use the same paint as for the Golden Gate Bridge and sort of the same kind of deco style. and it's sort of reaching over the bus, which I didn't anticipate. So that was a very nice surprise.
It's fantastic. It's still recognizable as a bus, as what it is,
Mm-hmm.
even though its form is so abstracted. What you were saying, Melinda, about the shutter speed matches my experience with the Beam Pro. In low light, instead of like increasing the ISO, increasing the sensitivity, it lowers the shutter speed, which isn't always desirable in stereo photography, but here obviously it's the right camera for the job.
Yeah, and it would be fun too to use a really long shutter speed. I think Lee, you got some feedback.
I just muted you, Lee.
Oh, okay.
No problem, Lee.
So yeah, I would have loved to do some of the really long streaks like Oleg has done in the past, but these cheap cameras don't have bulb settings.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that the Beam Pro doesn't have a manual setting, but we'll take what we can get.
Have anyone has used the manual mode with the Fuji? I haven't done anything with that.
I used to use the manual mode on the W3, but I found the program mode gave me much better results pretty much every time. Manual mode was a little finicky, but you could use it for effects like this. But I don't think the W3 has bulb mode, so
No, it doesn't have. I have two, and I have tried many things, but that's something that I have never found.
I don't think you could achieve anything as nice as this with the W3, in my opinion.
That sounds like a challenge.
It is. Prove me wrong, please. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is No Hands Sunset Cruise.
Yeah, so this was I probably took this at the same time as the last ones that I did from the same spot. Was just playing with motion blur a few months ago, and so in this case I'm following the subject, trying to keep the subject sharp and the background blurred, and at first I was getting very poor results in general, but if I'm really careful, if I'm really just kind of locked in and following as smoothly as I can, sometimes I can get the subject fairly sharp. So and this one turned out pretty well. And I played with the colors a little bit because I kind of liked the effect of the blue pink gradient of the lift colors. I don't know if that's their like corporate brand colors or if it's just for the bikes or what, but this sort of color scheme on the bike, I thought, okay, I'll try to mirror that a little bit, or at least adjust the colors of the background a little bit in the same kind of way. So I raised the blue and the red shades a bit and lowered the green a similar amount, to sort of make a little bit of a lavender backdrop for the image. And there's also, I was really kind of captivated later on. I saw this rectangular thing in the upper right hand corner, Like, what do you guys think it is? I now know what it is, but I had to actually go and look to see what that was.
Is it
A UFO?
A building or a sign?
No, no,
maybe like a tower or something?
no.
Hmm.
So I'll give you a big hint. Uh, it's not artificial. It's a natural object.
That's pretty far back. Is it a like a flock of birds?
No, it's a palm tree. It's a very skinny,
Uh,
very skinny palm tree with kind of like the darkish area at the top is like the actual growing leaves, and the sort of the bottom of that square is like the dead leaves hanging off it. And it's just very skinny and just got smeared out into what looks like a billboard. It, I was really confused for quite a while.
it's very geometric. Not something you'd
But
expect to see in nature.
yeah, no, it was kind of a surprise. And it kind of looked like he was looking at it too. So I was thinking, oh, what is there that's that interesting to look at? But it's not interesting to look at when you're there. It's just this very sad looking tree. But I think it made for an interesting kind of dynamic. It looks like he's looking at it.
I was going to recommend you crop a bit off the right, but now I understand what you were going for with that distorted palm tree.
Yeah, I did want to keep that, but I also did experiment with different cropping, and I found that for something like somebody on a bike that's moving quickly, um, it it feels really weird to crop in close to the front of the vehicle, because then you don't know what they're about to possibly hit or something like that. It has a really weird look to it, and I and I spent even more time trying to figure out how much to crop on the left, because it's more than I need. Um, but it just seemed to help the composition to keep a little bit of extra space, just not nearly as much as on the right hand side. It was just it was interesting to try
Yeah.
different amounts of cropping on each side and see what happens. It's the effects are sometimes pretty strong.
If you can use the gradient mode, well, with Affinity, you have a layer that you generate when you are modifying the colors and vibrance or sun saturation. There's a gradient mode, and with the gradient, you can select the gradient with the wheel, and you can select, I don't know, the blacks will be the purple,
More interesting.
and you can modify the intensity. Maybe you don't need that much, and generate the tones that you are looking for, like a LUT with a video or a photo, and it could be interesting to see that.
Yeah, and I think I thought about doing that. I did once use a gradient for a sky, um, that was just there was a little bit of an overlay, right? Normally, if I use a gradient for the sky, it's because I'm replacing a bald sky. But I did once use like a transparent gradient on top of the sky, and I was thinking about using it in this case. I didn't think about taking the endpoints from the logo. That's a very good idea.
Yeah, but this is not a gradient like for an area. This is for the whole picture. I don't know. You select the dark places, the shadows, and you select the color, like the blue one, the close to the leaf logo, and then you select the middles and you select the pink, and all the beetles midtones are going to be like that pink, and the lights, the highlights will be like, I don't know, the reddish white gradient part, and as it generates a layer, you can modify the intensity of the layer, how much do you apply to the photo. and it could be an interesting result. It's not like a gradient, like you are applying like a direct gradient and painting like the dark or a color. This is like the whole picture. It's like shadows. All the shadows will be blue. All the midtones are going to be pink, and all the highlights are going to be like white, reddish stuff, like the gradient that we are seeing on the back tire. And it could be interesting if you want to try it.
And that would replace all the colors, or it would be like an overlay?
It's an overlay. It's a layer. It will generate a layer, and I will try it. I will screenshot this picture and do it myself and show it maybe next month.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you very much.
Roberto, I think you've now been recruited to submit a photo next month using this technique.
No, but this is not going to count as mine. This is only an example.
Of course.
Yeah, but I think we'll all like to see it.
It sounds fascinating.
You can also download the side-by-side images from the website,
yes.
And let me know if you want higher resolution. I can give you a better source too if you like.
As an example, this could be good. Let me check. But that's the idea.
Well, Roberto, if you're up to it, no obligation. If you'd like to show this technique, we can start the next month's first meeting with a workshop, and you can show us the results and explain again, since most of us aren't here tonight, exactly how you accomplished it. I think people would be really interested in that.
Sure.
Put you on the spotlight for a few minutes, but I think there'd be a lot of interest.
Yes, it could be a really short one, but it's yes, I can share my screen, and it's really fast. Even if we are if this meeting is too short, I maybe can switch to my computer and do it right now.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to Belinda's next photo, which is titled Mario.
Yeah, so Mario is a member of the table tennis club where I play every Thursday night, or try to. And he's a very strong player. In fact, he was I think he was like the number one player in Haiti, where he was from, for a number of years. And so here he was warming up with another strong player. They're hitting back and forth with a lot of topspin very rapidly, which is the sort of the standard warm up that people generally start with. And I like it because it really shows the act of putting a lot of topspin on the ball. The ball is coming from the lower right and bouncing up into his paddle, and you can see it contacted the paddle in the middle of his stroke, and the topspin means that the ball is moving counterclockwise in the way you're looking at it, as it's moving from the bottom into the racket, and then when it contacts the racket, it's the upward motion of the paddle which completely changes the spin. So the ball is going one way, the paddle hits it, and it forces the ball to it grabs the ball and then sort of throws it, and then it continues into what looks like topspin to the opposing person. So it's both of them are receiving backspin and sending backspin, but the actual, from the ball's point of view, it's changing direction with every hit. Does that make sense? It's the racket itself is very sticky, so it kind of grabs onto the ball and throws it. Otherwise, the ball would come off the paddle and just go pretty much straight down to the floor. like if this was a paddle that didn't have any rubber on it at all, was just pure wood, it would slide like straight down. But instead, you get this angle that goes in this direction that you don't expect. The ball coming up under the paddle and then going out even higher.
It would slide down, the ball would slide down on a wooden paddle because of its counterclockwise rotation.
No, just because of its direction of flight. The spin, if the paddle didn't have any stickiness to it, if it was just a pure piece of wood or something, then it wouldn't matter what spin was on the ball. It would just bounce off it. You know, the angle that it bounces off is the same as the angle that it hits, just like a perfect mirror reflection. But the thing that makes table tennis so interesting is the huge amount of spin you can put on the ball and what that does to the way that the arc flies and to a lesser extent the way it bounces off the table. But you can really bend the ball quite a bit by putting a lot of spin on it, hitting it fast.
Well, I think you've demonstrated what you've explained visually in this amazing photo. The geometry of that ball in motion is astonishing.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun to see, other aspects of the motion blur too, like his arm. You notice how it's very thin around both his elbow and his hand, but in the middle it looks more like a solid arm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because in the middle, there's through the entire arc of his motion, there's always some flesh. So from the camera's point of view, it's completely opaque in the middle. But the closer you get to the ends, you get either a clear view past his arm at either the beginning or the end of the stroke.
And was this a handheld shot?
Yeah.
The background is very, very steady. I don't see any blur at all.
I might have put it on a tripod, or I might have handheld it. I don't recall. Yeah, the background looks pretty still.
Yeah.
So maybe it was on a tripod.
And this is a nice stereo composition also. You've got that table in the foreground. There's that sort of half curtain barrier in the middle ground. It really works in 3D.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's a lot of that is down to the Beam Pro. It's perfect for this kind of distance.
Yeah, you're definitely mastering this camera rapidly. Let's
yeah, it's a nice step up for me. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Oh, that's great. You definitely get the most out of your hardware. Melinda's final photo in tonight's collection is spinning pool noodles.
Yeah, so this was at a conference. I wasn't a conference attendee, but I came for a couple of events where the general public can be invited, and so I was serving as stereographer for this. It's a math event. It's called Gathering for Gardner. It's like every couple of years for people who are interested in mostly like recreational math and puzzles and mathematical art. And so this was from a kind of a hands-on session. So a bunch of people brought exhibits that could be constructed by like individual people or groups of people working together. And in the case here, this was a friend of mine came up with this idea of making these large sculptures out of pool noodles, and he designed a 3D printed part that's like a caltrop, and the pool noodles can be inserted onto these spikes and then bent around. And the overall form of these things are a couple of different four-dimensional, very regular four-dimensional objects. I think this one might have been called the 16 cell. I think it's made out of 16 tetrahedra projected into three space, and then the three-dimensional object is then just constructed out of what you see. And then at one point, this fellow just decided to climb into it, into the finished piece, and started spinning around like crazy.
Huh.
I don't know why, but me and you can see there's other people noticed it was a very interesting subject right away. So I was just snapping photos as fast as I could. I should have used video. I only realized that later, but right here I was just snapping stills, and this was the one that that got me a clear view of his face.
And what a great subject for stereo. The 3D representation of this. It's a multi-dimensional shape. Do I understand that right?
It's a 3D projection of a regular four-dimensional
Four-dimensional.
object. And by regular, I mean it's highly symmetric. So it's like an octahedron, but in four dimensions. It's like the cousin of the octahedron.
It's so great that you got his face framed in this shape. It's probably the best shot you could have gotten.
Yeah, it probably took like 10 shots. It was just pure luck. I'm just shooting into the blur. It really looked like a big blurred ball. I kind of wish that came across a little more. But then I did manage to get a clear view of his face that way. So I think it worked out okay.
Well, speaking of shooting video on the Beam Pro and extracting stereo from that, in the most recent Stereoscopy magazine, number 144, the Journal of the International Stereoscopic Union, Derek Medhurst has a pretty interesting article about how he used the video mode on his Beam Pro to extract these. I'm going to hold it up to my camera. I don't know if you can see it, but these incredible, like Muybridge-esque shots of this racehorse leaping over this hedge. Definitely worth checking out. I guess you can do a lot with that video mode. I'll have to experiment with it myself. Well, thank you, Melinda.
Thank you.
We have a photo by Bob, who couldn't join us tonight. This may be a resubmittal. I think we've seen another version of this. Dancer Havana, Cuba is the title. It may be a second shot. You know, I note that it's not specified if this is a native or a conversion. I'm pretty sure that this is a conversion that he showed us and was going to work on. So we can let Bob get back to us.
We have one Bob here. I
We
guess
do
you
have a
mean
Bob.
Bob Bloomberg.
Bob Bloomberg. Bob McAfee, welcome. Yes, I guess I should be more specific. Bob Bloomberg is not able to join us tonight, but Roberto is here. And I do want to talk about Halo by Roberto.
Well, yes. This was another picture from my exercise that I made last year with these strobes and this LED stick that it was. Well, you can modify the colors of the stick. I was deciding. I thought I was going to submit four of these, but I thought this would be a little bit boring for you, hoping that it's going to be a crowded meeting tonight. But well, I only submitted one. And well, this was one of those that really worked because I'm not like a phantom, because if I direct the stick toward the background, the illumination of the background generates like the transparency of me. And this I was well aware that I have to point the light toward the camera so I don't make myself transparent. So I believe this is one of the most successful pictures that I took that day.
That's a very strong photo. You did a great job.
Thank you. Yes, this was actually it was a lot of work. I have to black out all the apartment. Then I have to work with the strobes. In this case, they doesn't appear in the pic in the frame. Last year, I believe, I had this LED from the flashes. I didn't know how to turn it off, so they illuminated the scene, and here they were out of the frame. And also well, all the gels that generate the flash colors on the strobe that freeze me with the in the picture with the yep, that keeps me like only one guy without the movement. And then painting with the stick, it was a really successful picture of that night. The only problem that I have with this picture is that the right image, it's a little bit out of focus. So if you make it big, you can see that it's a little bit soft.
Well, we discovered a while ago that that doesn't matter if, as long as you've got one eye that's sharp. The result is magic. It always looks fine.
Yeah, it looks very
Yes,
sharp to me on my
actually,
Lume Pad.
yeah.
Yeah, I can
It's
see.
just
Actually,
it's just a weird miracle the way the mind works.
Yeah, there's probably a degree to which the unfocused image in the pair takes over, but in the stereo version, I'm certainly not getting any retinal rivalry or anything like that. So,
yes.
Roberto,
Well, I have it. Yep.
I was just going to ask, so you have a flash with a red gel to the right of the camera and a flash with a blue gel to the left of the camera. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yes, that's
So
right.
it's
I have two
illuminating
flashes.
your
Well, two strobes with
right.
one gel, bluish gel in the left and red on the right. I synchronized both with a shutter with a remote, and then it takes this. I took that at the beginning. It's 30 seconds exposure. So the first thing that I do is trigger the strobes, and then it's only a fraction of the second that it lasts, and then I turn on the stick, the LED lamp, and I have to be careful only point it toward the camera. If I point to the back of the or toward the wall, the it illuminates the wall, so it
Hmm.
makes me transparent because it's generating. So I have to turn it only toward the camera, so the camera is only registering the light from the stick, not the illumination that is going back
Yeah.
to the wall, to the window in this case.
It's interesting that you're actually making two separate images. You're doing two separate activities. One to control the flashes, and the other
Yes.
to add the wand effect, and you don't get to see it until you look at the end results. So it's complicated, and it sounds like you could end up just making hundreds and hundreds of attempts to get something that you're happy with.
Well, actually, this was a really fast learning. I at the beginning I made some test and checking. It took I don't know. This session lasted like 3 hours, and it including the blackout of all the windows in my apartment, and then checking. I was using first. My lenses really wide open diaphragm that it's a 1.4 that it's really well, it's a lot of light. So I have some spots that I couldn't cover, but I have to change the lens to another a little bit darker. It's a kit lens, 16 to 50 Sony kit lens, and I believe the largest aperture is 3.5, so it's what's enough dark so I could black out the outside sun because it was in the middle of the day.
And how long was this total exposure? A few seconds?
30 seconds.
30
I took it
seconds.
with my QX1. The QX1 only have the longest exposure. It's 30 seconds. And well, I was trying to do this with the RXOs, but the RXOs only give us 1/4 of a second. So it was really short time to do this
Yeah.
kind of light painting. So I took the QX ones that I have a little bit more flexibility with the exposure, with the sensor, and with lenses. So it was funnier. Well, I have a lot of fun with this one.
Very
I,
successful.
li- I like the contrast on the two sides of your face. The blue side of your face is against the red background, and vice versa.
Yes, I was trying to do matching tones, matching colors because I bought this set of gels that have orange, yellow, and I was like the contrast, trying to get the right contrast. I believe this was one of the most natural contrast. And the light, it was like I tried red and it diffuses my left, also blue diffuses my right. So I couldn't use those tones. I was using white, but it get like washed. So I believe that the most successful one was with green that give this contrast like elementary colors like RGB, trying to keep this composition.
Excellent. Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you.
By the way, Matt, do you have anaglyph glasses?
I
I'm
do.
curious if this one works at all in
Well,
anaglyph.
it does. The red and the blue are totally gone. So the only color that I see is the green of the light painting. It's almost as if it's a black and white photo with the green light painting, the only color represented. It's a really interesting effect. But the stereo is still prominent in the light painting on the anaglyph version.
Nice. So it's basically a black and white version.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I should have submitted more of this one.
Well, you probably weren't thinking about anaglyph at the time. It's not, there's only so many formats you can actually consider in a shoot.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
let's go ahead and make our selections. Now, normally we have like 30 or 40 photos to select from. Tonight we have 6. That's fine. I'm going to go through them again. Uh, I ask everyone who possibly can to participate in tonight's poll, just to give us some well-rounded results. You can access the poll on your computer with that link, and it also works on your smartphone or tablet. And there's a QR code if you'd like to do it that way. Let me go through the slides again. I'll say the title
Do we want
and the
to
maker.
do we want to discuss the previous one, even though the artist is not here?
Sure.
I assume they're included in the straw poll, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's coming up right now. You should see it on the Zoom screen share. Let's give Bob some feedback. He'll definitely be here for our next meeting, and he may be watching our YouTube or Twitch live stream.
I'm guessing he did like a radial blur, but he carefully masked out the woman's face so that she wouldn't blur.
This is marked as native.
Say that again, Roberto.
Is this marked as native or as a conversion?
It's not marked at all. So I'm
Okay.
going to. I think this is a conversion. Looking at the face, there are a few artifacts to me. Like her mouth seems to extend farther out than her cheek. Some artifacts that suggest to me that it's a conversion. Her hair looks really well done.
Yes, the face and the hair is really still.
Yeah, looks a little flat. So
Yeah, that had to be intentional. And the overall effect is great. I like how it's a great big circle that pretty much fills the frame.
yeah. I'm guessing he painted in the arc and then put this through the conversion utility.
What do you mean painted in the arc?
Well, I could be wrong, but that sort of arc that describes the circle from hand to hand, I'm not sure if that is part of the photograph or something that was added.
I wonder if you could do a radial blur such that it's twisted in one direction in one eye and the other direction in the other. I'm gonna have to try that just to find out.
To give it kind of a stereo effect without a conversion.
Yes, because like if you look at the area between like her hat and her hand, it looks sort of cone shaped, like the background is coming forward the closer you get to her shoulder, and that's kind of what I expect you would get with the radial blur. So the outer parts of the blur would create more motion than the inner parts. but I guess that depends where on the circle it is. So maybe that's not what he did. But it might be worth something. Might be worth trying. I'll probably try it out.
It's worth trying.
Yeah, I'm very curious how you got this effect. And great colors too.
Yes.
It is like a Colombian flag.
The colors.
Yes, Colombian or Venezuelan, it's like that kind of colors.
Well, thank you, Bob Bloomberg. If you're listening, you can certainly share your comments when we see you in April. All right, if we're ready, I'm going to go through the slideshow again and we'll make our selections, and then I'll show the results, of course. Starting with Melinda's bus to hyperspace. This is No Hands Sunset Cruise by Melinda. Mario by Melinda. Spinning Pool Noodles by Melinda. Dancer Havana, Cuba by Bob Bloomberg. And Halo by Roberto. And let me just make a few comments about the poll itself. And I need to make my selections as well. This is a ranked choice poll. Drag your favorite selections to the top. You can order the entire list, but if that's too much, please move at least your top 3 to the top of the list. And if you're a competitor, please move your own to the bottom. We don't want to vote for our own photos. So I'll give everyone a minute or two to make their selections. While we're doing that, I'll announce 2 things. First of all, our next meeting will be Tuesday, April 7th. That's our open division. Our special division is Tuesday, April 14th, the following Tuesday. Next month's special subject topic is black and white. I will review the Zoom meeting summary that the Zoom AI generated for us with this. If it's worth anything, I'll post it. Well, I'll share it with everyone just out of curiosity. We'll see that if it's going to be a useful tool for us. And then the final thing that I have to announce, I'll post this to our discussion board for local members and guests. The Vogue Theater in San Francisco, it's at Sacramento at Presidio. They've been showing 3D titles for the past few months. On Tuesday, March 24th, they will be showing The Martian, fantastic 3D movie from 2015. I'm planning on going. I'll send out an invitation, see if I can't get a group to go with me.
I think I did see it when it initially came out in 3D. it's definitely one of the best 3D uses of 3D in cinema. It's because most of it takes place indoors, so it's and kind of with a stationary camera. It's kind of a natural for 3D.
It's one of my favorite 3D titles. It's one of my go-to titles for my 3D TV if I'm showing that off. So let's see if we can't get a group of people. If you could make it, Melinda, that would be great. If not,
I'll definitely try.
okay.
Yeah, it's a special movie for me.
Yeah, it is a special movie, special 3D movie. All right, I'm going to stop my share temporarily. Does anyone need any more time for the poll? Let's take a look at the results.
By the way, I checked our old awards chart. You remember that? Based on the number of submissions, how many of each award? Yeah. So at the low end, we had only a first place prize for let me check for if the number of entries was at least 3 and as much as 6. And then for 7 entries, we added a second place. And then we had all the other ones below that. But you might want to use that as a guide.
I will. Moving forward, I will. Yeah. So, Melinda, we'll call your bus to hyperspace first. And given the number of submittals tonight, do we have a second place? I don't think so.
Well, yeah, it's clearly
we'll call
Robert's,
it Halo,
right?
Sure.
Yeah, so Robert's clearly second place. And we can just cut the line where according to the chart, or we can adjust the chart if we don't like it. But I as before, I like having a fixed instructions for voting and scoring.
Understood. I will add that to my instructions so that we honor that cutoff for these polls moving forward. Let me just make a note to myself. So congratulations, everybody. Thank you for your participation. Well, we can wind up early tonight, unless anyone has anything they'd like to announce or share.
Well, I have I am ready to show you the gradient.
Hey, look at that.
That's cool.
Yes, I switch to my laptop if you want to watch. It's a really fast adjustment that you can do really easily, and now Affinity is free, so anyone can do it.
I've just made you a co-host if you want to share your screen.
Yeah, okay.
Is that working
Advanced
for you?
options. No, where is it? Let me get this wider. Okay, I can find it. Share. This one. Okay. Share. Now you are watching my Affinity screen. I made it a little bit smaller so you can see the details. And as you can see here, we have the picture, the original picture, and I added a layer that is gradient mapped. I don't know if anyone has used this one, but basically it makes like all the dark areas, shadows. I made it with the beginning of the gradient that we have on the wheel. The second, it's the midtones, like the gray bicycle. I adjusted to the pink one, and the light I put it to the end of the gradient. So the result is this one that you can. Well, first I have to turn on the layer. So everything that it's on that gradient that you can. I don't know how much do you want to this adjustment. Also, you can adjust. Here you have, maybe you want it a little bit wider or maybe a little bit darker. And you can select all the gradients that you want. Here, to select the colors, I turn off the gradient. Then I go to select my color. Here to select my color, and I choose the picking color here. I don't know why it's jumping here. Let me move this here. Escape. Let me put it here. And the gradient here, it's here. Color again. And I can pick, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. Let me check this. Escape. I don't know if you can see the element that can choose the color here for the gradient.
Mm-hmm.
So you here you have to select. I don't know why if this is the picking point. It's with maybe with the streaming, it makes the selection a little bit harder. I don't know why it's moving like randomly. It doesn't allow me go below this. But well, here the idea is with this one, select the color that you are looking for. As I have turned down, off the layer, you can go down and select the beginning of the gradient. So at the end, the thing that you're going to get, well, this is not going to work that well because here, I don't know, I have this glitch, but at the end you have well, turn on the layer. You have the selection that you can have this gradient applied to the whole picture. So maybe you want it more, maybe you want it a light tone that you can match the tones. And well, I got the idea to get a little bit with the mood of this rainbow that you have on the back. So you can play with this. You can add a little bit brighter, so you can the same tone but a little bit brighter. Here also the whites. Also you select the color, and then with the triangle select a little bit wider. So the tone, the environment, the atmosphere, it's a little bit on the tone of the as you have the gradient of the back wheel, and also you can adjust the intensity of the layer. So if you only want a light touch of the tone, you only have to slide the opacity of the layer. This is a fast adjustment that you can make, and I wanted to share it with you.
Yeah, that's very effective.
Yeah, thanks. It definitely would have helped for what I was thinking of doing to the sky.
Ah,
I would have just selected the sky and then done a gradient like this. Mhm.
yes, but here is the whole picture that you are applying the gradient, so you can have the tone like a lute, like you know that you have this palette for a certain scene, and you have all the lights. It's going to be yellowish, and the midtones a little bit orange-ish. I don't know, and you have this palette of colors and apply it to your scene, and you have this atmosphere that maybe if I turn off the layer, it's a little bit you don't have this tone. It's like a little bit gray with the road and the bicycle. And maybe if you can apply the tones here, you have a little bit more according to the gray. In this case, that like applying the the effect of this gradient. Also, you can add a lot of colors if you want. Here, you can add any points to the gradient, so you can make a mess with the image.
Well, with just one color with
Yeah,
a gradient in brightness, you could maybe kind of fake a golden hour hue
yep,
with an orange gradient, or you might be able to like erase the effects of some kind of colored light or something if you want to,
Yep.
change the sort of overall environmental look
Yes,
of.
like you want something, all the palettes of blue, and you apply it on the photo. So you don't have to have all the, maybe you have a little red on the background. You can apply this effect and make it everything bluish or reddish or this kind of palette, like a gradient, an actual gradient from one tone to another. If I apply something weird in the middle, so maybe um, yellowish, it's a little bit different. You have a contrast. I don't know. So you can play with this and change the environment of the image.
That's very
Very nice.
effective. Yeah, thanks, Roberto.
Thank you.
I can see the power of that tool with the golden hour light, that technique that you suggested. Very powerful. All right. Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Does anyone know of anything else they'd like to share? I don't have any. I usually have like a new movie or something to show off.
Yes,
But,
Matt.
yes, Lee.
Let's talk to that AI companion.
Yes.
Say that again. I missed that.
Can we talk to our AI companion?
Well, in the chat, I think you can. How does that work? No, it's not there in the chat. I thought it would be there in the chat. But
Well, there is. Yeah, no, it does say chat with AI companion.
Oh, does it say that? Mine doesn't say
Yeah, so
that.
I see
let me try it. Let's see, what's the question?
Ask it what program we just talked about.
All right. Probably just going to end up in chat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't see a way to.
It says it can do it, but.
Oh, here we go. There's on mine, there's an AI companion icon in Zoom at the bottom of the screen, where all the other tools are, like chat, share, that sort of thing. And that opens up a dialogue for me, and I can talk to it. But I don't think it'll let me actually share that. Let me ask, what editing program did we discuss? Okay, it says it's analyzing. I'll post a screenshot of this to our chat. Still analyzing. The editing program discussed was Affinity Photo. Here, let me post the result. It's quite interesting. Okay, I just posted a screenshot. It might be too small to read in the chat. But I will read it out loud. The editing program discussed was Affinity Photo. Roberto demonstrated how to use the gradient mapping tool in Affinity Photo to adjust colors in an image. He showed how to apply gradients to shadows, midtones, and highlights to create atmospheric color effects, and mentioned that Affinity is now free to use. The demonstration was done on Melinda's photo, No Hands Sunset Cruise, to show how the gradient tool could match the pink and blue colors of the lift bike in the image.
It was paying attention.
Yeah, yeah. Now, that's quite impressive, but I need to figure out how to make that accessible to everyone. Um, I don't know if you all have that AI companion,
I do.
but you,
Yeah, I have the same one that you just used. So it's at least a private tool that people can use.
I blew it up and I could read it.
okay. So
You
that's
could
how
read
you,
Matt's, or you can see your own chat with the tool.
I blew up what Matt prepared
what you put, what I posted in the
where it
chat.
was in the chat.
Yeah.
But I also have a spot in the chat that says chat with AI Companion. AI Companion can answer your questions about this meeting and more. Try it now.
That's what I just tried. Do you want to try it, Lee? Do you want to take the
No,
plunge? Well, that's how we talk to this thing, through that AI companion chat. So yes, we can interact with it during the meeting, and additionally, we'll find out. We'll find out what it's good for. But additionally, at the end of the meeting, it will be preparing a summary, a report that we can refer to, and I'll be reviewing and posting that sometime after the meeting.
do you think it can tell us which was the best image of all the ones?
That could be a good one.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Yeah, let's see. Let me. What should we ask? If which image was the best one, or which one was the highest
Ask
scoring?
which image do you think was the best one?
Which image do
Because
you
otherwise
think?
it's just gonna tell us what we said.
Let's see if it will make a subjective call here. So I asked it, which image do you think was the best one? It replies, I don't have access to personal opinions or preferences, but I can help you review the images that were discussed if you'd like. And then it
Oh well.
continues. It mentions the gradient mapping demonstration, and that's it. Yeah. So it doesn't have an opinion. It's a cold-hearted computing machine. But
Yeah,
let's.
I think it's not allowed to make assessments like that.
I
That's
think
fun
you're
to know.
right. Yeah, that's intentional. I'm asking it which image received the highest score in our poll. I could play with this all night. Takes it a while. It's analyzing.
Well, now with daylight saving, it's earlier for you.
Yes. Based on the poll results discussed in the meeting, Melinda's Bust to Hyperspace received the highest score and was called first place. Roberto's Halo was identified as clearly second place. I'm sure it got that from me. Okay, so yeah, it's paying attention. And then Melinda, it discusses, here, I'll share this for whatever it's worth. It discusses the prize chart.
Oh, I'm curious. Yeah, we didn't give it a lot of clues. What is it? Did it figure out what was going on?
I think it did, yeah. The group referenced their established awards chart. 3 to 6 entries, only a first place prize. For 7 entries, so yeah, it was paying attention. All right. That's not specifically related to stereo photography, but I think that this tool might help us in our meetings. And I'm very curious if this meeting summary is going to retain the gems, the tips, and just the knowledge that we share at these meetings. That's what I really want to get out of it. So Lee, that's how you talk to it. It won't be your friend. It's clearly too impersonal for that. But
Well, this was a fun meeting. I enjoyed it.
well, thank you, Lee. Thank you. And well, in that case, if that's it, as I said, I'll see everyone next month. I'm definitely expecting a larger group. I will see you on Tuesday, April 7th. And until then, have a great month. I look forward to seeing you next time. Good night, all.
Good night.
Thanks.
Good
all.
night.
Good night.